whoever used to stand here really had an issue with over there.
The what?
I can feel them. They used to stand here and glare straight across. They had a really big issue with the whole idea of how close yet how far the two different spaces are. So there's still
And as you know, cameras always run out of battery, so luckily at this moment I did have my trusty little digi camera, so I've whipped that out just as Renata was receiving messages from the spirits upstairs. I've whipped out the DJI and I've just tried to continue on with that until I could get a new battery into the camera, so I apologise for the change of quality there, but we had to keep the story going.
ownership or being owned, being told what to do and how to do it and everything. And yet this conflicted belief of the fact that because you are okay is all about what you have to be and what you have to do. You know what I mean?
Being second to none.
That goes back to that feeling I said. I felt like that presence, like I felt like a resentment, anger.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, so a resentment and an anger, but on, like I said, on the other hand, what do you do knowing that you're okay because you're not out there, you are in here. So you realise the privilege that you have, but that privilege comes with a very huge cost of being owned.
Like you have to turn the other cheek.
Yes. Yes. And
Almost
I
like-
think sometimes,
No, here we go.
Sometimes I
you had to forget who you were. You had to forget who you were to become this for being here. So you were in an in-between because the rest of your clan, the rest of your people would have resented you too.
You're in no man's land
You're
because
in no man's land. You
not
don't
accepted
belong
by
to them,
either.
But you don't belong to your family anymore either.
Yeah.
And this is all you have.
This is all you have, so you better well make the best that you can. But that can be a really hateful, horrible experience too.
It's like
Yeah.
selling your soul. Like other words.
So 2 rooms upstairs.
Yeah.
2 rooms upstairs. How many would be accommodated in a space like this? What do you think?
I think you could probably get about 20 people in this little space.
What?
Yeah.
You don't count the bedrooms as just the bedrooms
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
Because they could have been sleeping this way, that way,
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here,
yeah.
that way,
Yeah.
that way, down there, that way, that way. They could have been sleeping. You don't know how they were sleeping.
Yeah.
But, you know that one, yeah.
And how would they have gotten up here? Would there have been
There would have been a
a
staircase.
staircase?
It would have typically
Just a wooden staircase.
it would have been a wooden, same spiral staircase, but just wooden.
Oh, that was me putting resting on the. Sorry, it was not. It was not a ghost. I just rested my hand there.
Okay.
Hopefully, I haven't signed into some website and just spent money.
Wow.
So yeah, you could. Don't think like it was like a family.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you think about how many people that it would take to employ to keep that house up, and that would vary depending on the master.
Everything.
Everything.
They had people washing clothes, cooking, slaughtering hogs. They had people, like I said, they had people.
Drivers going out with the horse and carriage, taking them everywhere in the city. I mean,
Yeah.
a typical house could employ a lot.
Yeah.
Well, not employ, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And they would have only felt comfortable when the master wasn't here. That's the only time they would have felt at least a bit comfortable to be able to
Well, it
speak
depends
and
what
say
the
anything.
mistress would have been like as well.
Well, yeah. She was probably in the big house, wherever the big house was.
There, behind us.
Yes, yeah. but there probably would have been another big house.
Some masters that were very cruel, though. You know, that's another. I mean, you have to think about the horror that was. So La Laurie, I don't know if y'all are going by there.
Yeah.
But so one of her slaves, her husband fathered a child with, and she killed the baby.
Wow.
You know, so think about all that trauma.
Yeah.
So, and that's not the only story.
It's beyond our comprehension because we just come from such a different world. It is time to get some answers to your questions.
Hopefully.
Auntie Renata, as we like to call her, has got the cards out, and she's going to...
Oh, sorry. What questions do you have of these beautiful spirits that are here?
The first question I would ask...
Do you have a brother, by the way?
I have a sister.
You have a sister.
Yeah. Do they mean us any harm?
Oh my God. I didn't know you had the cards, girl.
No, you have the Queen of Cups. So this is a card that talks about this sense of stabilization. And cups are all about love. So this is a card of great generosity. And they are here for a reason. They want to be here. Or whatever element of them is here because they understand this as being home for them. And they are gifting their connection to you. So they want to be connected. They want to be known that they are here, which is what you do, what you're doing for them. You're letting them know that they are existing here and that you are cohabitating in this space.
Yeah.
And by saying good morning to them and good evening or whatever, that's awesome and great. But this is a card of love. So there is no part in this card that talks about darkness or anything of any harm or anything.
So that was my follow-up question. Because my follow-up question is, like I said, I felt a spirit of darkness or a spirit or a dark energy, or like I said, I got that feeling of fear, like it was a third presence that wasn't as welcoming. So it's like I still want to make sure that like you okay too, you know what I mean? Like I'm not here to harm you.
Yeah, I want to ask you why you reached that conclusion that this energy was not welcoming. Did you feel that you had invaded their space? Did you feel that they didn't want you to go any further, or that they were protective of a particular area, or
maybe even picking up on their emotions and their feeling to the situation they're in and interpreting it as a fear for you?
That's really what it kind of was. It was like me thinking about like everything I just told y'all, you know what I mean? And then just thinking about that person's experience and thinking about in some kind of ways, you know, thinking about like ways of like life has changed to where I am a person of color, my husband is a person of color, we're married and we're gay. We're gay black men, and we're living this life that my ancestors, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was unheard of.
Yeah. Be forbidden.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like this sense of, like I said, humbleness, appreciativeness, that I know that they paved the way for where I am right now in this moment, in this space, where there was ancestors who were in this space that were suffering.
And interesting enough, while you were talking, I picked another card, and this is the Knight of Cups. So again, we have another Cups card, a cup of love. And if you look at both of them, they have this cup and it's outstretched. It's like I'm offering this to you. It's a sign of peace. It's a sign of the fact that I want to be here, and that I'm just letting you know everything is okay. I'm here to be peaceful with you. Now, the reason you may have felt that agitation in that particular moment may well, and that's why, if you ever feel that way again, number one, that's the initial reaction we get when we're coming into contact with something that we might not be able to see or understand. It's come in.
That adrenaline rush, that fight or flight.
Yeah. And
Because
so
your body doesn't recognise it, so you immediately go, oh, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So in that moment, if you can stand still and go, okay, what's really happening here? Are you angry at me for having said something or done something? I'm really sorry that, I've upset you, but everything's okay. Everything's okay. So always just saying it's okay. It's settled down. It's fine. Yeah? You may find that if both of you have any arguments between each other, or there's something going on, that the energy ramps up a little bit.
I'm gonna say this. As far as argument wise, I'm gonna say we hadn't had a real argument for 367 days.
Oh.
He counts.
He's good with numbers.
I did say, judgy bitch, and you counting up the numbers there. That's hilarious.
I'm talking like an argument, like I felt like was bash, when we were bashing each other. Those arguments are not few. Are not many. There are so few to where it's like blinking your eye.
Yeah.
And I guess
because we recently just had an argument this past week, and we both were being stubborn. However, what I told myself, I said, it's like you're being stubborn, you're not going to get anywhere. And I said, I'm going to get this evil spirit out of my house. I'm going to, whether I felt like I was owed an apology, but I said, on the long run, on the stretch part of it, I want to get this bad spirit out of my house, because it's not us.
And sometimes what happens, and this is what happens to us as well, because we work in other environments that are haunted, we can actually bring a bit of that home with us. So it's like it not necessarily follows us home, but because we've been interacting, we're still holding on to some things that we may have felt, or they have connected with us in a small way, and they've moved out of their environment into our home environment. And sometimes, and you've had this, Anne, and I've had this, where we're not ourselves for a couple of days until we go, oh damn, I've just been at the jail for the weekend and I must have brought something home that wasn't nice. Yeah? And so for both of you, when you leave your work, you need to be able to kind of, as you're walking out the door, say, okay, no one follow me home, you're not allowed.
So I think insane asylum, haunted hotel. Hello?
Like how he says, good morning. Every morning when I get up, I go upstairs on the balcony, I smoke a cigarette, and I pray to God, and I thank Him for a lovely day. I pray for everybody, for the sick, for the people that didn't wake up, the parents who had to bury their child. I do it every morning. And so I pretty much don't really, when I leave to go out this door, I don't worry about how my day was going to be. I know.
But this is about coming back into the house after you have spent a day in a haunted location. So when you have spent your days in your locations, just take a moment to say, thank you everyone, I'll see you next time I'm here. Not allowed to come home. I'll stay here.
I do that. I pretty much do that. I interact with them there. I don't bring them home.
or sometimes it's not your choice to bring them home. They just come. They just come.
Particularly since you're open and you can talk to them and sense them.
Yeah,
And they can travel. Let's see.
In the Uber.
They can be wherever they want to be. And this beautiful emperor card that sits here is really, really interesting, because you have this gentleman, and he sits on his throne, which is his domain. So he looks after his domain. This is his place, and he makes the rules here. And that's what you both have to do. You make the rules for this place and say, beyond this doorway, no one else steps. Yeah. So you can put a sign of protection up above your doorway.
Whatever it is, it might be like for you a crucifix or whatever your belief system is.
Yeah.
You put that up there, and that's your symbol, your sign.
Is there anything they want from us?
I was having a think that whoever this may be might just be completely jealous that you are able to live your truth in the open public world as a gay couple and not hide who you are, where they had to hide who they were all the time. Is there some sort of angst about that?
There's complexity in this Nine of Swords card, because this is life in drama, really. And if you think, and as you mentioned, life in drama was a day-to-day thing for these people. And maybe sometimes in spirit it takes a while for that drama to leave that soul, for them to know that they don't have to think every moment about what's going to happen next. Am I safe, or is the master going to come out and ask me to do something that I don't want to do? So again, it's about being able to say to them, everything's fine. It's now all different. We're here to take care of you. Everything will be fine. Yeah. So it's not as much about you doing something for them. It's actually about not changing anything that you do. Yeah. And how long have you been here now?
Since May 15th.
Since
May 15th.
May 15th. It's still early days, really, being here. It may take another 6 months to really settle. So you may have little bits and pieces happening, but everything's fine. There is nothing here at all that would be at all wanting to make you leave or wanting to make you unsettled. Again, it's like coming into a house where somebody else already lives, and sometimes you've got to say, "Oh, excuse me, I didn't know you were there."
Yeah.
You know, like last night we slept with our bedroom doors open upstairs, and who in New Orleans could sleep with their doors open? Nobody but us. I mean, because you don't know what's behind that gate, or who can jump over that gate.
Yeah.
But I was never worried about nothing. We slept with the door. Ain't gonna sleep with them open tonight too. It was a wonderful
Oh,
feeling.
you know where to come tonight now then.
And when you do that, it's not only yourselves that you're healing, it's all of these souls that you're healing as well, who understand that they can be peaceful in this place rather than feel threatened or in fear.
Yeah.
You know, we heal our ancestors, we heal those that are in these spaces by our actions. So you are looking after the house. They chose you.
They chose us.
They chose you. We had such an amazing night last night, just from the simple fact that you had the opening up of a private home to some beautiful people that we had literally just met. We had just met these beautiful people, and they were so warm and inviting and open to our suggestions about what was happening. They were also open with the history of the area and how they saw themselves within that space now that they live there, which is also really, really interesting to hear. I loved when we walked outside and went over to those plaques on the roadway, on sort of the nature strip area.
Particularly seeing that 12 Years a Slave and knowing that movie that's here underneath our feet. It
we
really
were there.
happened.
Yeah.
It was very profound for me the whole evening. I did not dig out any ghost hunting gadgets at all, because I don't think it was needed.
Look, this was a particular situation where these people knew that their place was haunted. There's no point in going over that because they don't have to have the proof. They already have the proof. They know the place is haunted. For us, our job was to try and work out what any of these spirits might want from them, if anything, and to give them peace of mind that they're not wanting to harm them or destroy peace of mind or whatever it might be. So that was our job last night, and I think we did that well.
We did. And to me, this is what the paranormal investigation, the ghost hunting should be about. Speaking to the people, finding out what their needs are, finding out the history of the location from the people themselves, and then tapping into the spirit world to see what they need as well. These people now will have to live together, the living and the dead, the past and the present. And I hope that we gave them something to give them peace and to move forward with. And
the beautiful thing is that people have come so far from the history of this region. There are generations of people that came here originally as the masters, the slave traders, and the generations of people that are still here from the slaves that were free and when slavery finished. And these people now live side by side, and they form communities, and they might fall in love and marry and create families, whereas before they were on different sides of life, really. So it's beautiful to see how this community is now healing from what occurred so many years ago and was an atrocious thing to have happen. We can't change history, but we can change our future. And one of the things that we do is sort of say to people that through your healing, you can heal the spirits that are within your space as well. They might not have to stay. Once their healing is done, they might go and decide that their work is done as well. So it was an emotional night.
It was. Look, I hope you've really enjoyed this presentation, episode, whatever it is you want to call it. Please let us know what you think of it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribed and like and all that sort of stuff, and help us keep doing what we're doing. Because we love helping both sides. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.